want to take a moment to introduce myself and then allow everyone to share their name and maybe one exciting thing you're looking forward to if you're able to participate in this amazing opportunity to go to Kenya. So good evening, everyone. It is 5:31. I want to make sure that we are respecting everyone's time and that we're able to maximize on our time together this evening. Um, I have the pleasure of being able to host, in conjunction with UW-Whitewater, a trip to
Still not
Kenya.
working. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
I don't understand why it's not working. I really don't. I don't know why.
Oh, wait, there's something coming through now. Hold on. Now I can
There
see it.
You can see it now.
Yep.
Yes.
My gosh, there's a miracle after. Okay, so sorry, folks. We are having a technical difficulty. Can you see that now?
Yes, we do.
All right, perfect. All right, I'm sorry, Nate, for interrupting. Go right ahead. We'll get started up here.
No problem. So I am excited to be able to host in conjunction with UW-Whitewater this trip to Kenya. My very first abroad experience was before I was 20 years old as an undergraduate student at UW-Whitewater, and it was to Brazil. And from there, that sparked my interest to continue traveling. Abroad, but also domestically as well, to get outside of Wisconsin and the community in which I grew up in, to see the world and see other people who speak different languages, who eat different food. Like all of those things are exciting to me. And so when I graduated from graduate school, I returned back to UW-Whitewater, where I worked for 8 years and had the awesome opportunity to teach in our history department and our social work department. And my opportunity in history allowed for me to take students abroad. And so I taught about the African diaspora, and I've taken students to South Africa, and myself has traveled to West Africa. So the opportunity to go to a different part of the continent is exciting, but then also the learning piece as well. And so I did post the brochure on social media. You may have had a chance to look at it with all of the activities, and we'll talk through that tonight. But there's opportunities for us to be able to engage with locals, for us to learn more about Kenya and the different parts that make up the culture. So I just wanted to share my passion and my reason behind doing this work with all of you and my passion for traveling. So I want to be able to open up the floor for you all to quickly introduce yourself and just one quick thing about why you want to go to Kenya. So
right, they are muted right now. Everybody's muted, so
can you unmute them?
I'll have to do it one at a time because
okay. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
We do have the ability to unmute ourselves.
Yeah. Okay,
at least I'm able to.
Okay, good.
And on that note, I might as well start. My name is Wes Centerline. I'm more well known for my wife, Mary Menterline, who works in philanthropy and alumni engagements. And just very curious to learn more about the trip. I've never traveled abroad. We're taking our first trip this December. And then this would be obviously way outside the bounds of comfort for me. So I'm very interested in it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Anyone else? You can just unmute yourself.
I will go next. I'm Miriam Enterline. Hi, everybody. So yes, working in philanthropy and alumni engagement, also a UW-Whitewater alum in 2012. Travel has always been a of mine. I've was able to travel in high school to England and to Germany, and actually huge fan of Rick Steves. I actually have his sign off of his show, a tattoo on my arm that says "Keep traveling." I just know travel is something that no one can take away from you. So experiences that you have. So travel is a passion, and I'm excited about this trip.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and go next, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Awesome. My name is Tatiana McLemore. I am also an alum of UW-Whitewater 2019. I wanted to go traveling when I was in UW-Whitewater, but the trip to South Africa was actually canceled the year I enrolled due to low enrollment. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I definitely want to be involved in this. My first trip ever was to the UK by myself because I wanted to travel and I saw a really great deal. So getting out and traveling, I am the first in my family to actually travel really outside of the state. So just continuing to learn about other places and cultures is huge to me.
Oh, hello, can you guys hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, hi. I am not an alumni of Whitewaters. I am actually a friend of Janae's. And I seen that hi Janae. And I seen that she posted it, the trip on Facebook. My grandmother passed, I want to say 11 years ago, and she always wanted to travel to Africa. So I'm like, okay, I have to make that a trip in honor of her. Because like I said, she always wanted to go. And I'm just excited about the wildlife and just learning the culture over in Kenya.
I'll go next. My name is Crystal McLean. I am an alumni of UW-Whitewater as well. I graduated in May of 2003. I did travel abroad when I was in undergrad. I went to Jamaica with the school, and that was amazing. It wasn't my first experience traveling abroad, but definitely one that I would remember. I think for me, I want to travel to as many places in Africa as I can. I was blessed enough to be able to go to Ghana during the year of return. And that was amazing. I plan to go to, at the end of the year, I'm actually traveling to Cape Town. And so I want to see every part of Africa that I can. And what better way to do that than with some fellow Warhawks? That's going to be amazing. So
Anyone else? Jujara, Carlithia, Erica.
I'll go. So my name is Jajara. I am a alumni. I graduated in 2017. My first study abroad trip was with Whitewater. I got to go to Ghana as well. And then my second one was to Paris. Like some of the other ladies said, I love the African culture. I love learning about it. So I've always wanted to go back. I have some really good connections that I'm actually still connected with from my first trip to Ghana. So I really just want to have the experience to go back, see more. Also get to see Miss Janae because I absolutely love her and just mingle with some more people from Whitewater.
Okay, I'll go next. My name is Carlithia Hooper. My daughter is an alumni of UW-Whitewater, and she went on the trip to South Africa and brought back some amazing pictures and souvenirs. And she told me about this trip to Kenya and thought I would be interested, which I'm very interested in going to Africa. I've been out of the country to the UK, but that's about all my traveling out of abroad.
That's awesome. Miss Erica, name and why you want to go to Kenya.
Hmm.
Can you hear us, Erica? We can't hear you if you're talking. Okay, if you're able to unmute yourself and, oh, you're unmuted. Go ahead, Erica.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so my name is Erica Leonard. I am not a UWM alumni. I am a friend of Janae's. I am very interested in this trip for two reasons. I want to see the Indian Ocean. I love beaches and I want to go to every beach that I possibly can. And then the second reason is my mom is actually thinking of relocating to Africa within the next 3 years. And I want to take this trip with her so she can kind of get a feel of Kenya and see how she likes it and if that's someplace that she would be interested in doing and living and relocating to.
Awesome. Thank you. And
I'll
Amy, I
finish,
wanna-
I'll finish this up here. So I'm Amy Oding. I am the Chief Alumni Relations Officer here at UW-Whitewater. I'm a 1990 alum also, and I'm the person who coordinates all of our tours throughout the year. I was super excited when Janae came forward as one of our foundation board members to propose this idea of this trip, and I'm kind of working behind the scenes. And if you guys need any information, always feel free to reach out to me or Janae or Judy, as she'll introduce herself. And I'm super excited to get this going for you guys.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Janae. A little coughing spasm there for a second. I hope it doesn't break out. I'm Judy O'Brien. You guys, welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to get to know each and every you and all the passion you have about going to Kenya. I have been outside of the country, but not to Kenya, honestly. But I've been doing a lot of research on it, and I'm gonna show you a lot of the slides, talk about the destination that we're going to, and then I'm gonna let Janae take over and maybe let her add a little bit of things in there that she might want to add about the culture and things like that. I've got a few different tips. I did recently this year go to Israel, and I've also been in France on the Seine River cruise this year. So travel's back. We're ready to go on some great destinations, and they picked a really, really fun one for you guys. So let's get started. Okay, shall we? You guys can mute, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. So this is a small group tour, okay? Only holds like 20 people on this trip. So it's really important, if you have your heart set on going, you get signed up. We are going to be giving it a little extra savings for those of you that took the time out to come today to this travel show. Okay, so it goes out November 1st. Oh boy, let's see. I don't know why my clicker's not letting me advance. Let's see. Yikes. Oh, there we go. Okay, I had a little freeze. I'd like to always just give a quick little background, you guys, on who Mayflower Cruises and Tours are. We were a family-owned tour operator out of Downers Grove, and in 2018, we were bought by this gentleman on the left. His name's Glenn Maroney. He's an Australian, and he loves to build ships. His wife loves to decorate them, and he saw a very good company in Mayflower Tours. And really, all that means for me is I've got more product to sell with his beautiful river cruises. Like Amy went on the Tulip Time on the Rhine this year, and he likes to build yachts. He built 2 yachts during COVID. So all that means for me is I'm working for a bigger company that's globally wide with 6 different offices around the world. And I have a lot more product to sell. What we like to do with the Mayflower experience is give everybody a nice life enriching experience on the destinations that we travel to. And by doing so, we're going to take care of your transportational needs, starting with, depending on where you guys live. I'm going to show you a map here in a minute to get you guys picked up in the Wisconsin area. There'll be certain communities of where we pick you up at home, or we could do a local pickup. So we'll provide your air for you on this one. We'll have wonderful camps on this trip and a hotel that I'm going to tell you about on that first night. All the luggage will be handled for you on your trip, okay? Your big suitcase, anything that you carry on the plane yourself as your own personal luggage or your carry-on, you will handle. We'll have a beautiful, very smart full-time guides with you guys on this trip. Unique dining experiences. They've got wonderful, wonderful food over here from what I've been told by my, our president has been on this tour. I said the food is fantastic. And then we've got a guaranteed share program as well. And we'll talk about that is for any single traveler that wouldn't mind us trying to team them up with another single traveler within your group that might want a room together. If we can't really find them one, then they'll get that room to the twin rate. Okay, it's got to be same gender and non-smoking. So all that really means is this kind of like shows you we've got a lot more different amazing destinations, all different types of travel styles. Okay, whether it be river cruising, land tours like this one, or tours around the US, North America, train tours and things like that. A little bit about myself. My name is Judy O'Brien. I live in Naperville, Illinois, and I'm the business development manager for Northern Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, and Oklahoma. I worked at Mayflower many, many years ago, and I left for 9 years. My son was going into kindergarten. I tried to get him to go to University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. I really did, Amy, I swear. But he decided to go to Iowa with a lot of his friends, and he's actually there for his 5th year, getting his master's this year. So really proud of him. He's going to be on his way to being a CPA. Our beloved little doggie Zoe did just pass away last Saturday. We're a little sad about that, but I figured I'd leave her little pretty picture on my travel show. So this is kind of showing you the complimentary round trip home pickup, or I say local because it just depends on where you live, okay? I think most of you might live in Wisconsin, but if you don't, that's okay. We can figure out pricing or airfare, or if you're coming from somewhere else in the US. But any of those blue counties up there, Washington, Ozaukee, Waukesha, all those are home pickup areas. We'll pick you up at home and take you to the airport, okay? If you live a little farther away in Wisconsin, maybe you live up by Beaver Dam, there's a local pickup up there. And if you need to know, well, I'll let you know where they're at. Just fill it out on your form. We'll let you know about reservations, and my assistant Kayla will be able to assist you with that. So we talked about the guaranteed share program. When you kind of put all those things together with a little bit of free time, I don't know how much free time you'll actually have on this trip, but we do like to give you a very wonderful experience and a life enriching experience with many fond memories to come home and talk about. So November 1st to the 9th, it's our Highlights of Kenya tour. First and foremost, everybody go find your passports soon and make sure that it is good for 6 months after returning, which is around, I bumped it up a little bit. I bumped it up to May 15th. Because God forbid you decide to stay there a couple extra days, or for some reason you have to stay there a couple extra days. We want to make sure that you guys not only get on the trip, but you get home from the trip. So make sure that your passport's good for 6 months upon returning. This tour is 9 days, and you get 20 meals on this trip that's included. And this kind of shows you the map of where we're going, flying into Nairobi and going north and then back down 2 nights in the old Pajita Conservancy. Hope I pronounced that right. And then back down, we're going to see the Masai Mara at the very end, the game reserve. A lot of cool places you guys to go to. Let me get caught up because I don't know why it's not wanting to show me my notes, but I do have a backup plan always in place. So they say Kenya has always been the ultimate safari destination. It's a place of magical creatures, enchanting cultures, postcard perfect beaches, and one of the world's warmest welcome places that you could ever visit. They're very, very friendly there, and they're going to love having you come there and tour their beautiful country. So get ready for the adventure of a lifetime as you visit Nairobi, the capital of the largest city of Kenya. Now, the hotel that we're staying at, this is going to blow you guys away. At least it blew me away. It's called the Tamarind Tree Hotel. Okay, I put down our similar because God forbid we have to do a hotel change for some reason, but we are planning on staying at this hotel. And I took some pictures here just to show you the delicious food that they have there, the drinks you can have. It's got a pool. But the interesting fact is that Queen Elizabeth was staying here when she received word that her father, King George, had died and she inherited the throne. She was in Kenya doing a tour for the Commonwealth with her husband at the time in 1952. I find that quite fascinating, especially with the Queen just passing away recently. And I know that they're planning on getting a lot more tourism in that area at this hotel because of that as well. Look at the beautiful rooms, gorgeous rooms. I pulled a little bit of information here that they do at this hotel. And I think you're going to find this at a lot of the places that we're visiting as they're rehabiting a lot of the animals in places. They'll take donations. Okay, just like this bracelet of hope that they have at this particular hotel. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to, but I probably certainly would. You can get a little customized bracelet made for a few dollars with your name on it. and all the proceeds go to educating young women from Kibera and any of the other less modest areas. Then Bracelet provides women with a 12-month certificate course in local hospitality college that the chairman group sponsors. So I think that's a really nice way of saying thank you when you come over there and helping them out. So our first little visit with the animals is going to be at the Elephant Orphanage. Okay, this is going to be in Nairobi, and this is where it's going to be kind of funny. I was talking to my president. He said, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna be so excited to see any animal, and then after a while they're gonna be sick and tired of seeing the elephants, and they're gonna want to say, where's the cats? Where's the cats?" But that's okay, you guys. There's going to be plenty of animals on this trip that you're going to be seeing. So let's back up just a minute. We leave out of O'Hare Airport on day 1. You arrive in Nairobi on day 2. I guess they say hello is in Jambo, or Caribou is like a welcome, or hello is a little bit of the verbiage there. So we'll get into the airport. A representative will meet us with a wonderful warm welcome, and they'll get us over to our beautiful hotel. Now that first evening, you will have time on your own to relax, enjoy the beautiful amenities of the hotel, and enjoy a nice dinner at the hotel if you like as well. Get a good night's sleep. You're going to be tired. We'll try to stay up until the evening time and then go to bed and get up early the next day. We'll get up early. We're going to have a nice leisurely breakfast, and then our African adventure begins. So we'll have a heartwarming visit. We're going to go to this cute little elephant orphanage here, learning out all about how the significant role in Kenya's conservation efforts. You're going to meet the little cute baby elephants as well. And this is how they've been saved. They're going to be raising them, taking care of all of these beautiful little animals in this orphanage. Later on, we'll say goodbye to our elephants, and we journey to the Karen Blixen Museum. Now, this is a museum that's kind of reminds you, or is based on the movie Out of Africa. You might want to get caught up and watch that old movie of Out of Africa. Was that with Robert Redford and oh gosh, I can't think of her name, but she's one of the best actresses ever. Anyway, we'll walk through the house. We'll see the authentic memorabilia, furnishings, the costumes that were worn in the movie, and an included lunch right on the museum grounds. And then we'll go on our next animal adventure, and we'll visit the Giraffe Center. We'll get up close to these endangered Rothschild giraffes at the Natural Sanctuary, and we'll have the opportunity to feed them. Now be careful, because they like to slobber, and they also like to, they'll probably try to kiss you. They'll take the food right out of your mouth from what I hear, like look at right here. And that's happened on a few of our trips already for us. So we always like to get a picture of that as well. So we'll get right up close to them. You'll have that opportunity to feed them as well. Now tonight's going to be a special treat. We'll have a welcome, very welcome from the Manji family home. And we'll have a beautiful dinner and hospitality and learn all about the experience and the local culture of this wonderful family. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner is included today. Go back and we'll have a nice sleep tonight at our beautiful hotel again. Again, they have a beautiful pool there. You guys might want to relax at the pool in the evening. And then the next day, we'll board our Safari Land Cruiser, depart Nairobi. We'll journey through the rich agricultural landscape, passing through all the wonderful little farms here. This is actually a tea plantation here, but we'll be passing a lot of different coffee plantations, pineapple farms, tea plantations, things like that, to learn all about these beautiful plains in this area. You'll even get some views of Mount Kenya in the background, but really, we're getting to the Conservancy offers excellent game viewing. So now we're going to have following lunch at the tent camp. We'll have time to relax, and then we'll get on our first game viewing drive. This is the Conservancy called, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Ol Pajeta, I'm hoping. It's called Sweetwater's Sanctuary. Look at the tents that we're going to be staying in. It's pretty nice. Now, we're going to have lunch here. So this is called the Rhino Room. let me just make sure I got that right. Okay, this is called the Rhino Room. This is where you're going to have breakfast, lunches, and dinners. You can see right here. Start the morning, big, beautiful buffet included with all kinds of different fruits and vegetables. Just really everything you could probably think of. If you're planning on going on this trip though, and you've got certain dietary restrictions by any means, we really need to make sure you let Janae or Amy know about that. Make sure you let Kayla know and put that right on your reservation form so we can submit that so each hotel and these camps will obviously know about that. Okay. There's also a watering hole there at the bar. So you can guys get all your cold local beer, glass of wine or spirits. It's open 24 hours a day. Obviously, you're not going to be walking out there in the evening though. And we'll talk about how it's when you do walk around in the evening, you do need to have a guide with you. But we're going to go on our first game viewing here today. We'll keep an eye out for what they call the big five, right? The lions, the elephants, the Cape buffalo, leopard, and the black rhino. Look at those. Here comes the cats, you guys. Here comes our beautiful cats. The rhinos. We might even spot the white rhino. It's known for in the northern part of this area. There's not very many of them. There's supposed to be 2 at this conservancy here. So hopefully you'll be able to spot them. These are 2 of the world's last remaining northern white rhinos that make this sanctuary their home. And then after the thrill of your first game viewing drive, return to the camp for dinner and relaxation. So it's dinner time here, a lot of delicious meals, a lot of different choices. If you don't even like what they possibly are giving you on the menu, I'm sure you can always order something like chicken or beef or something like that if you really need to. So I was told that my president is the most finicky eater I've ever seen. And if he could eat there, I know you guys will be happy as well. Here's another picture of the camp of like the tents. There's another picture of that wonderful rhino. And then our next day is when we are going to be able to get a full day of exploring exotic Sweetwater's sanctuary. Okay, so the camp overlooks one of the busiest water holes in the area, and it offers all different types of animals here. So not only to the big cats, we've got these chimpanzees, you've got the rhinos. Make sure when this whole day you have time to explore this whole sanctuary that you go out and see these little chimpanzees. Wait, let me just tell you something here. Hang on 1 minute. I missed a couple things here that I wanted to let you guys know about. Because I'm missing my notes. I don't know why they don't show up on here, but let's give me 1 second here. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, so don't miss the chimpanzees. The sanctuary was established to rehabilitate these animals rescued from the black market. And it's the only place in Kenya that you can see them. And we share 98.6% of our genetic DNA with chimpanzees. I seriously did not even know that. But our wild cousins are in trouble. So this place has been advocating for the flight of chimpanzees and other great apes since 1993 when it first opened the Sweetwater's Chimpanzee Sanctuary. This sanctuary aims to provide a refugee for chimpanzees rescued from the black market. And like I said, it's the only place that you can see these guys in Kenya here. Hang on, I'll do both of these at the same time. Okay, looks like we're doing our gaming drive, early morning gaming drive today. So basically what they do is, from what I heard, is they'll have a little bit of like, I don't know, your coffee and maybe a couple of muffins or something like that out for you because we're leaving really early in the morning. We might even see this guy out there. It looks like he's up early in the morning. Look at his horn. That's pretty big. And then once we come back from our gaming drives that we do real early in the morning, then we get back and we have a wonderful breakfast back at camp before we head out and start our next adventure. So we'll depart the conservancy. We drive towards the Great Rift Valley. We'll have a brief stop made at the equator, which is the crossing point. Okay, it's kind of cool. Right here, you can kind of see the equator like down below there, and then there's going to be a sign. This would be a great stop. Let you guys get out, take a picture in front of the sign by the equator there to show that you pass the equator. And then later on, we're going to have lunch, stop, and cruise Lake Nyavasha. Hope I pronounced that right. I feel bad if I did not. I'm sorry. This is when we're going to be cruising around in this boat, like a boat similar to this, I guess you can say. And you can see all the swimming hippos just swimming around in here. It's also known for a lot of the birds. You can see the flamingos in the background. Here's another picture of the flamingos. And then, of course, there's the sweeping African fish eagle, they call it, that swoops down to snatch a fish from the lake for dinner. He looks like he's serious, meaning serious business there. And then we have another gorgeous lodge that we're staying at here, right on the lake in Lake Nyavasha. It's called the Sofa Lodge. Here are some pictures of you to see here. This is a beautiful fireplace, places to relax here. It's connected on the other side. I guess you can kind of see where the dining area is. There's a fireplace around there on the other side where you can relax. Just a really gorgeous place. They kind of laid it out for a particular reason, so they didn't have to cut down any of the trees. So as you're walking around from like your room, you have to pass around and go through where the giraffes come out and the giraffes walk through. So it's kind of neat. I did a little research on it. It looks really cool. I think you guys really enjoy this place. Let's see here. Our next day, we are going to venture through the Great Rift Valley. We're going to go to the northernmost extension of the Serengeti Plains and one of the richest wildlife game reserves in the country. So here we go, Serengeti Plains. This is where all the elephants are herd animals with its very definite social structure. The herds are led by the matriarch, and that's usually the oldest female. They're made up of their daughters, their sisters, and their offspring. And then the male elephants actually stay with the herd through adolescence, and then they'll move away as they grow older. Look at them all just staying in line. I find that so fascinating. Now, giraffes, they're the tallest mammals on the earth. Their legs alone are taller than many humans, about 6 feet. They can run as fast as 35 miles an hour over short distances, or they'll cruise at 10 miles per hour over a long distance. A giraffe's neck is too short to reach the ground. I did not know that at the zoo. All the time I've been going to the zoo. So we are, upon arrival, we're going to enjoy lunch at the camp before this afternoon's game view drive. This is at the Tipilikawani Luxury Mara Camp. Okay, again, another beautiful swimming pool right here. And it's all about this unique, let me just go back one square. This uniquely situated luxury camp is right on the banks of the Talak River. It overlooks the mottled plains of the Masai Mara, where the vast herds of wildlife coexist with the colorful Masai people. And these beautiful Tipilikiwani tents enjoy river frontage and are decorated with warm, rich Masai colors. Now, we'll essentially follow the mitigation from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara. Every year, more than 2 million animals like the wild beast, the wildebeest, the zebra, the gazelle, they migrate into a clockwise direction across the ecosystems of the Serengeti or the Tanzania and the Masai Mara in Kenya. Now, they are known for essentially following, this is a black maned lion. So you want to keep the lookout. They're rare, but you may find one out there, and we might see the black maned lion out there. This is kind of what our little Jeeps kind of look like. So I know we've got a ways off on this trip, but it's really important that when you pack your suitcases, you're not using a suitcase. You're really going to use like a big duffel bag, because you're going to be throwing things into these Jeeps when they pick you up at the airport and things like that. and they kind of load them up in the back there, so you can realize that it's not the same as in America when we use our big suitcases. So we'll talk about that at the doc meeting down the road. So let's see here. We are on the game reserve here. Oh, here comes the snow leopards. I wore this shirt today just for the little leopards here right now. So let's see here. We are these game drives. Okay. This is like the gift of seeing cheetahs, lions, giraffes. The list goes on 9 out of 10 times. For the folks that have the high-powered camera gear, you'll have plenty of time and space to capture these epic pictures. Your guide's probably going to help you. The iPhones work pretty good too. If you're not going to bring one of those big cameras with the lenses that are kind of hard to carry, definitely want to have a great pair of binoculars with you while you're out on these trips. And then sometimes you might not need binoculars because we've got the elephants roaming around. And then of course, we've got our cats that you want to see. Your guides, of course, will be innately trained to understand the tiny nuances of each species. So rather predicting and understanding the behaviors to know how close you might be, it is interesting to learn the patterns of these animals. So I think that's probably one of the most interesting parts of that for you guys to learn about that. I don't know how they would even get that close to a lion, honestly, but it looks like they know what they're doing. The zoom lens is appreciated, like I said, but don't worry. You could probably get a pretty good picture on your iPhones. And now the animals like these, like the elephant, the males, actually, these are the world's largest animal in the world. The males actually only reach their full size at 35 to 40 years. That's well over half their lifespan, as wild elephants can actually live up to 60 to 70 years old. And it's not just the adults, even the calves, even, the babies are huge. You guys are going to have an optional balloon sunrise hot air balloon ride if you choose to book this, which you definitely want to do that. Weather permitting, of course. Okay. There's really nothing that compares to this. One of my coworkers went on this. They thought it was the most fantastic way to experience the plains of Africa as you float above, hearing the vast herds of the wildebeest, honking the zebra, spotting the lions, the leopards in the trees. If you're lucky. And then of course, we will be of the wind, and then it'll be not magical enough. We'll land right in the middle of all of it and enjoy a champagne brunch like you've never had. I think it's going to be awesome, you guys. I definitely would take advantage of that and get signed up for that. As we continue on, we're going to visit a traditional Messiah Manyatta village at the very coming into the end of our trip here. And don't forget, this is just a little taste of what this story is going to be like. But I did hear a story. Let's see if I can remember that story. What were the Messiah known for? Okay, I had heard that the Messiah inhabit the African Great Lakes region, and they arrived via the South Sudan. Most Nilotic speakers in the area included the Messiah, the Turkana, and the Acalajan are the patrialists and are famous for their fearsome reputations as warriors and cattle rustlers, believe it or not. A Messiah man can have 3 wives, and the Messiah accept polygamy as a way of life. And these women grew up with fathers who had married several wives. So kind of an interesting little tidbit there, or fact. This goes out November 1st, you guys. Pretty much, honestly, if you think about it, a year from now, because before you know it, October will be over and it'll be November 1st. It's $53.34 per person. That includes the complimentary round trip transfer that will get you to Chicago O'Hare Airport and your round trip airfare from Chicago. We're going to give you $150 savings for coming on today per person when you book by September 30th. And the deposit's $250 per person. Hopefully, either Amy or Janae We can email you the flyer if you haven't already received one with a res form, and it kind of has your information about the deposit and the final payment. The final payment's due in on August 1st. So if you're planning on mailing it, you want to get that in a little bit earlier than that. We do offer travel insurance or travel protection plan, as we call it. It's $349 per person, and you would put that on right at the time of your reservation. So we can open this up to questions now. I hope I did it some justice, but today I think you're the specialist on traveling to a lot of the different African areas. I've been to Egypt, but I've never been on a safari, and this just looks so amazing. I'm very excited for you guys to be going on this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that awesome presentation. I'm going to open up the floor for questions because I can't even find the words to describe my experiences in Africa and the different parts. It's just indescribable. And it is the total opposite of what we've been told growing up and what America portrays this beautiful continent to be. It's just something you must experience in person. So questions. What questions can we address for you guys?
Yeah, I'm gonna open that up to questions really quick. Let me go over just a little list of things that my president sent me when I said, send me some tips, send me some things that you remembered. I forgot to go over this. I think it'll be just might answer some of your questions. So here's some of his answers based on his experience. The food is continental: chicken, steaks, pasta, etc. There's always a choice of food, including vegetables. He's not heard anyone complain about the food yet. Touring days can vary between destinations, 2 hours to 5 hours going from one place to another. It just depends as we're traveling across plains into different cities. The morning safaris are early morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, or in the afternoon, 4 p.m. So you got to get out early when the animals are out there. Then they get you back into camp in between. In a typical day of camp, very, very early morning, wake up with coffee, tea in your rooms, and a few cookies. Oh, cookies. They have cookies for early morning breakfast. They want to make sure you guys are pepped up and ready for that first safari. And then you go on your safari, dress in layers, as it might be cold when you start out or and warm when you get back. So you want to kind of dress in layers. You can always take off, windbreaker, coat, hoodie, things like that. Once you return from the safari, then you get a great breakfast, hot breakfast, eggs, sausage, fruits, etc. And then after that, it's relax time until your next planned activity. Every camp has a central area where they eat and hang around. You can walk between your cabin and your central area during the daytime, and at night they ask you to be escorted by a local person. Remember, you're in the middle of a jungle and there's no fences in most cases. Water is supplied by the ground operator. When they arrive at the airport, they will get a welcome kit, which includes a metal bottle like we have, like Mayflower gives out. We usually give out like a gift sometimes. That's like a Mayflower bottle, and you can keep that and reuse it. All jeeps are equipped with tanks that hold clean, drinkable water, and you use your bottle to fill it up as you go. They have to boil or clean or whatever, filtrate their water out there. So kind of like when I was in Egypt, they give you bottled water, or they give you clean water to drink. So you want to brush your teeth with that clean filtered water. Okay. That's just one of my tidbits. They're having a thing against plastic in Kenya. No plastic bags or bottles. Okay. If your cabin, they'll have a container of fresh, clean water. And then the vaccination and visa information should be in your documents. I think you have to get yellow fever shot. I'll find out for you, okay? They'll get an e-visa. They'll do it online. It's about $50, okay? Usually when you do the documents, Amy and Janae, which will probably get 2 to 3 weeks prior to departure, there'll be information with a link that you just go online, you fill it out, you upload your passport info, boom, 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 and you're usually pretty done with it. In Nairobi, the hotel is a modern hotel, so they can eat at the restaurant or order in room service. He thinks the flight could possibly get in late. And if it does, that's a good tip to know, because they do have room service and they do have that wonderful restaurant there. The elephant visit lasts a couple of hours. I don't know where they list the donations, but because I asked them about donations, okay? Because I just know that all the different, whenever we visit a school in Masamara or these conservancies, you might want to donate if you want, because they're helping out these animals and things. It's up to you. It's mentioned in many of the camps, they can walk between, okay, I already said that, walking between that. And that's about it. Okay. Okay, I think I covered everything now. All right, let's see who's got a chat open here. Let me see if I can click on chat. I don't see anybody typing a message. Does anybody have any questions? I think there's a way that you can raise your hands on here as well, so that we can either unmute you or see if you have a question. If you don't have a question, or maybe you're going to find a question that comes to you later this evening when you guys are talking about the trip or maybe reviewing the flyer, that's okay. Just go ahead and email one of us so that we know. Here's some information down here. It's got Amy's email on there. Amy always normally forwards it to myself or Kayla. I don't, Janae, I'm sorry, I didn't put your email down there. Do you want to let them know how to get a hold of you? I think she's muted. Yes. Oh, there we go. She's unmuted. Okay.
You said you need my email?
Yeah, you might want to let them know. I don't see it on this screen right here.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
Just in case they want to reach out to you and ask you
Yes.
a question, and then you can either reach out to me or Amy. I just thought maybe another contact would be great.
Absolutely. And I could put it in the chat, but it's only going to let me post to hosts and panelists, not the attendees.
Okay.
Yes, it says chat disabled on the
Let me see if
other,
I
on
can
our side.
let me try to show chat. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Everyone, there we go. How's that? All right, to everyone. That's for me to send a message though.
Yeah, I don't
Amy,
see
you
it
know how to
either.
do that? I don't know. I did not do anything different on here than I normally would do.
But yeah, I mean, I know Janae's been sending out emails to you guys, so I think you probably have her contact information through that. Now, we recorded this, correct?
Yes.
So what I will do is I will post it onto the webpage for the trip, which hopefully you guys have all gone out and pulled up the brochure and looked at all of that. And then I know there was a number of people who signed up for attending this that didn't attend, and I will also email it out to them, Janae. So if anybody is signed up and didn't attend, they'll get a copy of the link to the recording of this to watch.
I'm also going to try and make a little video that's not really me talking in here, and it'd be more of like a video of each slide. And then it'll have this contact information on the end. So people can kind of just, it's like a quick trailer, like a little cute little quick trailer video, but with all the pictures of the slides. All right, you guys.
Any questions?
I don't see anybody raising their hands. I don't know. Oh, here, some question. Tatiana asked to unmute. Okay.
Yes, my question was about the pamphlet or the flyer. I do not have that. Is there a way that I can get that?
I have some printouts of them. Otherwise, it is on the webpage. Have you been out on the webpage?
I have not.
I can email her one too.
Yeah, or I can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You can go on that webpage like April suggested if you want and pull it right off of there.
But we'll get one out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Tanisha.
afternoon or good evening. I had a question. So if what happens if you can't make the 9:30 deposit deadline?
What happens if you don't make it? When do you think you can make it by?
I'm just curious. So if you,
Well,
is
that's
that,
just a,
is that
that's,
a hard cutoff?
that is just a, that's for the extra savings. If you
Oh,
don't,
okay.
that, then it'll be $100 savings. Basically, we're giving a travel show savings for anybody signs up by that deadline from being on a travel show. We kind of give an extra $50 off. I would still give you the $100 off though. So that's really the only difference.
Okay, thank you.
The only thing that I'm worried about is the space. So originally we had 25 people register for the show today. We didn't get that many on, but I think 25 people were interested in learning about the trip and the show. So there's 17 seats open right now. So they're kind of, I guess, first come, first serve, I guess, with your group. So probably more important is getting the seat. But usually when you sign up, the deposits due first, and then you can get that additional savings, and then final payments not due till later on August of next year.
Thank you.
Yes.
And they can make payments along the way, correct? I know some people
sure.
wait to make most of the payment at the end, but if you're one of those budget people that want to pay every other month or once a month, you can definitely do that.
Yeah, we take, it should be on your res form, Visa, MasterCard, or Discover, or checks.
Now, is there a way to register online or virtually? I'm looking at the brochure and I see that.
You know, there's not yet. We're really working on that with our system. There's not a way to register online. What I would suggest is to fill out your form. I don't know if it might allow you to fill it out online if it will, and then do a file save as if you can, and then scan that to Amy's email. Amy, do you want them to send that to Kayla directly or to you first?
Yeah, usually we just send it to Kayla.
Okay. If you guys want to write this down, I don't know if I can type it in here while I've got it on the screen, but if you want to write this down, my assistant that will make all of your reservations at Mayflower, her name is Kayla, K-A-Y-L-A, Grajeda, G-R-A-J-E-D-A, and her email is Kayla@mayflowercruisesandtours.com.
Her email and contact information is on the form. Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Hey, Amy, did you want to tell them about the risk-free form? Do we have that with the res form?
Oh, the
UW form?
Yeah. So when you register, there's also another form that's part of your registration form that is an assumption of risks that you have to sign as kind of a disclaimer to the university. So in the end, I need to get a copy of that before everybody travels.
Kayla's usually pretty good about sending those out to you and reminding you just to fill out and it back real quick.
Pretty basic, just saying that Whitewater is not responsible if something happens on the trip.
Right. So here's a couple more pointers that I'd like to point out. Double check your passports again. Okay. We need passport copies with your res form. So take a picture of it with your phone, email it to yourself, whatever, and send that in with your res form to Kayla. She will love you for that because she doesn't like making reservations anymore without the passport copies. Okay. We just want to make sure that your names are spelled correctly. That you don't want to put your nickname on your res form unless you put it on where it says nickname. We want to make sure you get on the plane. We also want to make sure you put down the correct address on where you're planning on being picked up. Because if you change that down the road after final payment, you can get charged because we have to logistically set up your pickups. And then also, okay, Janae's got her thing right here. All right, great. Also, we've got, don't forget if you've got food allergies or anything like that, you put that on your res form. It's really, really hard to get things to change when we get super close to departure date. People always wait to the last minute, and it's like, it's best if we know ahead of time, okay? All right, you guys, I think everybody is content here right now, but oops, I see somebody's got their hands up. All right. All right.
Good question. If you're coming from another state, does that affect the price? And if so, how do you find out how much that cost would be? Because I know you referenced.
Where are you coming from?
I live in Nevada now.
So you're coming from Las Vegas?
Correct.
We can take a look at that and see what the air cost would be on that and how much more it would be.
Okay.
I can't see it being astronomically that much more. But we can look into that pricing for you and get back to you on that.
Okay.
I don't know if I have that in front of me right now. I might have to request that from Las Vegas. Chicago's a hub, so you know, it's going to be might be a little bit, it could be anywhere between $100 to $200 more possibly. But let me see what I can find out. It could be the same. So let me see what I can find out for you. Okay.
And we've had people in the past book separately, like in and out of Chicago from where they are, and just fly with the group too. So you have to kind of look at what's the better situation.
Okay. I'm not sure which way this trip goes.
Yeah.
Once you find out the information for Ms. Singleton, will you communicate with me and I communicate with her, or will you communicate directly with her? Because I want to make sure you have her contact information.
The person that just asked about the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you guys, Janae or Amy or both, send me an email saying, Judy, please check on the air for this traveler. I'm looking to sign up for Kenya. CC Kayla.
Okay.
I don't have an air in my spreadsheet from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you guys a note.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be $200 more. If I had to guess, but let me double check, okay?
Yep, I'll send you guys a note and copy everybody. So then Kayla can just reply.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great question though.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you have questions about the rooming situation? So as our awesome host has already described on the registration form, and how can I put the link in the chat so everybody could see it? Because I put the link in the chat.
Let me try to figure that out.
Because I want to be able to walk folks through the registration form.
Can you see it now?
No.
All right, give me a minute.
Okay.
Let me see if I can figure this out.
I have it up. I'll just share my screen.
Oh, here.
Hopefully this will work.
Oh, shoot.
Can you guys see that now?
Hang on a minute. Is that where you look? Is that, there we go. Hang on a minute.
Janae, can you see my brochure screen?
There. Can you see it now?
Anyone? Judy, can you see my brochure screen?
I can't see anything on your screen now because you're not a host.
Oh, it
But
says that I'm
I
sharing.
I have it on the screen right here. Can you see it?
No registration form, just the slide title page. So if you share, you probably need to reshare the screen, you know.
I have to reshare it.
Judy, can you just stop sharing yours and I'll share mine?
Let me try to find out how to do that. Okay. All right. Oh, there you go, Amy.
Okay, can you see it now? Okay.
Perfect. And for those of you who do not have access to this registration form, I'm going to post it on my social media, Facebook, for you to be able to go in there. So you can type into this form, and at the top is all of your information. Please make sure you have your passport readily available because it's going to ask for that number to be entered on the form. As previously stated, please make a copy. If you're in the Milwaukee area, you need me to print it off in my office, I have no problem with doing that and getting it over to you so that you can include it with your application. In addition to a picture, never mind, you don't need the picture of your ID if you have the passport. We just need a clear picture of the passport with the application so that Kayla could process everything. If you know that you want to room with someone, the second square is where you enter their information. You do not need to enter their passport number, all of that stuff. Kayla says she's fine with just first and last name. Because the group is small, she'll be able to easily go through the travel list and say, oh, okay, Janae wants to room with Tiffany Tardy. Okay, she's on the list and she already has Tiffany Tardy's application and all of her information on there. So please make sure you're communicating with someone if you know you want to room with them. Hey, are you sending in your application? Because if you list somebody's name and they haven't sent in their application, then Kayla's going to call you or email you and say, who's this person? Because she doesn't know until they send in their application. If you are open to rooming with someone on this trip that you never met before, then just go ahead and put guaranteed share where you see the check mark at the bottom right-hand corner. That is an opportunity for me, Amy, Kayla, and other travel leaders to work together to pair everyone together. Again, it will be same sex, no smoking. Where you make checks payable to is at the bottom left corner. So again, that's what I did. I sent in my deposit. I did pay for the insurance just in case something comes up, but keep in mind that if it is out of our control, meaning out of Mayflower's control and ours, then we will get a full refund, even if you don't have the insurance. So keep that in mind. But again, if you're just, want to feel secure and safe about having that insurance, then please make sure that you include the insurance.
Yeah, and the travel insurance covers things that happen on your trip too. Like if you get sick or injured and need to come home, there's more than just like canceling or not canceling involved in that.
Absolutely. And so that is the reason why I decided to opt into getting the protection, is because of the insurance. Now, the insurance we have here in America does not cover us there. Please understand that. And so, it'll be just my luck that I get there and become ill for whatever reason. So I just want to just protect myself and make sure that if, Lord forbid, something happens, I could be rushed immediately to local hospital and I will have the insurance through Mayflower to make sure that I'm seen and treated properly. Okay. Also, I got it because of baggage. So I've had great experiences traveling abroad and making sure my bags got to where I was, but I've also traveled with folks who lost, like their bag was lost in transition. The insurance covers up to a certain amount to make sure that you are clothed and that you have your toiletries and necessities while you're traveling, versus you having to come out of pocket or you may have to come out of pocket and be reimbursed, but nonetheless, at least you know that you're going to be reimbursed up to an X amount of dollars. And I believe it's like $100 a day. And it goes by the
scroll
certain
down
number of
on
days.
your forms, you guys. It might be down there on your form, Amy.
What?
To that form. You might have the insurance down there on that next form. There you go.
Yeah, it's in here. It's just really small and hard to read.
That's the last page. So when you guys get your res form and you get that booking term, world booking terms, you can keep those world booking terms so that you know what it covers. But it is very helpful if you're out on tour and you get sick, or God forbid you need to go to the doctor or something, or you lose your baggage. Or I always say, if you are traveling with a friend, it's not a bad idea to bring some clothes and put in each other's bags, and then also bring another day supplies or so in your carry-on. Okay.
Cool. Any
Okay,
other
so-
questions?
Yes, any other questions? I just want to make sure that I touched on those key things. So again, if you want a single room, check single. If you click twin, twin means that you have a roommate. If you know that you've identified somebody on the trip that you want to room with, and then guarantee share if you want us to pair you with someone on the trip.
Yep.
Any questions, any concerns? Again, you can set up the payment plan. You just have to make a $250 deposit to lock in your seat by September 30th if you want the $150 savings. After that, it will only be $100 savings. If you want the insurance, then you're going to be mailing in $599 versus the $250. So just keep in mind, if you're going to get the insurance, which I strongly encourage, so we can all have our abroad insurance, that you send in the $599 to lock in your seat, and then you just make your gradual payments. And what I do is I just set up a payment schedule to remind me to write a check out for, a couple $100, just keep mailing it in. So I know when next summer come, whatever balance I have, I can make that last final large payment, or around tax time, which typically I owe, but I'm hoping this year I get a couple dollars back and apply it to this trip. But whatever your pay schedule may look like, this is an opportunity for you to pay in installments and make larger payments around time where you have a little bit more money.
It looks like,
Tatiana.
What was my question? Oh goodness, it just left me. Oh, for shots or vaccines, we'll go over that at some point, or is that on the pamphlet? Like what vaccines or shots we need? I know being COVID vaccinated, but any other like not abroad shots, if that makes sense.
We won't go over that until you receive your documents, or pre-travel departure documents, as we call them. Everything changes so much. We don't know what kind of regulations are going to have by the time you get on this trip. So we like to wait and then update everything as we send those out. And it'll have a step-by-step of what kind of vaccinations you might need. I'm going to find out for you, though, if you need to have that yellow fever shot at all. I don't know if you'll have to be fully vaccinated next year or not. Everybody might be ending that in the country. I know Canada just finally lifted theirs today, and all of Europe doesn't pretty much require it anymore. But we'll keep you posted on that. I'll send an email and see if I could find out what's required as far as any shots right now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Well, it's 6:39. I know that we went over a little bit with our hour. I appreciate all of you for sharing your interest in this trip and your willingness to travel with me and other dynamic leaders. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here. If you don't have my cell phone number, I can send it to you on social media, but I'm happy to talk through it and figure out a plan so we can all go to Kenya. I'm so excited.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks, Janae and Amy. You guys, thanks for attending the show today. I'm really excited for all of you guys. It'll be here before you know it, okay? Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.